Lesson number 105 is about using proportions to solve percent problems. And our first question says 30% of the students earned A's on the test. If 12 students earned A's, how many students were there in all? So in order to use a proportion, well, remember, a proportion is just like saying 1/2 is equal to 5/10. They're just equivalent fractions, but one has been reduced. So in this problem, if we have 30%, well, we know percent means out of 100, so that's 30 out of 100, and I need to erase that because we need a little bit more room to write our fraction. That's 30 out of 100, which is the same thing as 3 out of 10. And it's nice to reduce our fractions when we can before we write our initial proportion. So 30% of the students earned A's on the test. In order to write our proportion, we're going to say the numerator is going to be the students who earned A's, and the denominator is going to be students who did not earn A's. And when we set this up, we can then go ahead and solve the problem. Because we have 3 out of 10, 30%, 3 students would earn A's. So if 30% of the students earn A's, that would mean 7 students did not earn A's. Because there's 10 total students. 3 got A's, 7 must not have had A's. If 12 students earned A's, how many students were there in all? So we're making a proportion that's equal to, so this is going to be 12 over some number, and we're going to call this x, just as a variable. That's what we need to figure out. Well, we know that 3 times 4 is 12, so when we're writing our proportion, times 4, 3 times 4 gives us 12. So when we have that proportion, we can multiply the bottom number by the same thing times 4. 7 times 4, that must be 28. So how many students were there in all? Well, if there are 28 students who did not get A's, we can figure out how many students there are in all by taking those who got A's and those who did not get A's. 12 plus 28, that's going to be our final answer. 12 plus 28, well, that must be 40. There must be 40 students in all in this class. We could go ahead and box our answer and move on to our next question. Here it says only 40% of the team members played in the game. If 24% of the team members did not play, how many did play? So 40%, that's the same as 40 out of 100, which is the same as 4 out of 10, which can be further reduced to 2 out of 5. So that's 40%. Now in this it says 24 members did not play, so we'll say D, N, P, did not play. And how many students did play? So we'll just say play on the bottom. We can go ahead and set up our proportion now. It says only 40% of the team members played in the game. So 40% of the team members played, that's going to mean that, well, we know 40% of them played, so that's 2 out of 5. So 2 students played. Out of the 5 total, that means 3 must not have played. We can write our proportion now because it says if 24 team members did not play, so this is going to be equal to 24 over our x value. How many did play? If we want to figure out our answer, well, we know that 3 times 8 is going to give us an answer of 24. So 2 times 8 must give us our x value. 2 times 8, well, that's going to be equal to 16. So in this problem, x is equal to 16. If 24 team members did not play, how many did play? 16. 16 team members did play. We've got our final answer. We could box it and move on to our next question. Our lesson practice will be on page 569. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.